Well, there you have it. Once again, Friday Night Live. What did you think of those interviews there, Ron?
Well, hey, you wouldn't see them type of interviews there where I'm from. You don't see too many of them colleges in the field. You know what I mean there, eh?
Whoosh! MSM TV. Nobody takes my shield.
Well, there you have it. We're going to go to some more interviews with the parents on Sunday Morning Live right now.
Once again, thank you very much for that applause. I'm touched by it. Thank you very much. Okay, so this is our last PowerPoint. That's great. You know, once you're done with this, you send in, you're done for the week. Last one, I'm very sorry, it was a little bit longer, but we got through it. Actually I was surprised. I thought it would be longer than what it was. This one's going to be short. Again, we're going to take advantage of your hitting that pause button. And so let's get, this one is called Note Worksheet 2 over Bernadette. It's a front and back Note Worksheet 2 over Bernadette. Last one you got. And we left off, they were at the spring, remember? And so let's go from there. So she said, drink and wash from the spring. And Our Lady told Bernadette to drink from the spring. This is number 1. What did Our Lady ask Bernadette to drink from the spring? Was there a spring there? No. She went to that little creek and Our Lady said, no, from the spring. She pointed to the ground. And so she says here, I threw it away 3 times because it was so dirty, but the 4th time I was able to drink it. So here they are. Here's a couple pictures I found at the spring. You remember the cartoon you saw in 1st grade? One of these might be clips from it. So here, there's that little creek that was going through. It isn't there anymore. And then you can see how it is there. And here's another one. This is her trying to dig into that spring, and everybody's making fun of her and laughing. So people made fun of her and thought she was going crazy. After the crowd had left, where she dug, then all of a sudden water started flowing. And it was in there. In the movie, they said, wow, look, there is water, there is a spring there. And so number 2, they think she was crazy, yes, but later, did water start flowing from that? Yes, it did. So now we're on number 3 already. See, we're going fast. This spring became the miraculous waters of Lourdes. And we're not, yes, this is number 3. Right here, that's a yes or no. Got it? And the lady had never told Bernadette her name until the 15th appearance. And she'd asked her different times, tell me your name, tell me your name. The lady would just smile. And the time is 5 o'clock in the morning, wow, March 25th. And so the date is number 5. What time? 5 a.m. Whoa. Wow, that is early. And it's the feast day of the Annunciation. Remember, at March 25th, you only had 9 months before Christmas. And so you should be already doing your Christmas shopping by now. And so that is number 6 right here. Number 6 right there. And Bernadette felt compelled to go again to the grotto. Her 14 days are over. She's going 15th time. And the lady was already there with her 2 arms hanging down. She raised her eyes and looked up the sky. And it was then that she told me, joining her hands together, now at the height of her breasts. So she's going like this. Then she's going like this. And she looks up to heaven. This is after Bernadette is saying, please tell me your name, tell me your name, tell me your name. And then she tells her name. And she says, I am the Immaculate Conception. This is number 8 right there. And number 7, obviously, is the sky. That's what she looks up to. And she says, I am the Immaculate Conception. So she gave her name. Interesting, she doesn't say I'm the Blessed Mother, she says I am the Immaculate Conception. And it was just in 1854 this became the official dogma of the Church. So this should be underlined, it's 1854 is the next answer. Then which was just 40 years before these events, Pope Pius IX had proclaimed the dogma of the Immaculate Conception. People already believed that in the Immaculate Conception, it's just that it never was the official dogma, and he did that in 1954. So number 10 is 4 years. So if you need to pause it, please pause it. I'm moving on. Okay. What is the dogma of the Immaculate Conception? That is number 11. That the Virgin Mary had been conceived and born without original sin. And you did know that. I'm hoping everybody knew that, because that's like 3rd grade stuff. Alright, so instead of having you write this out, which normally I would have had you done, you just had to put the Immaculate Conception. Okay, so purposely made it so this would go a lot faster, okay? And so we're all the way down to, whoa, that was number 11, now we're at 12. And the priest there was convinced by Bernadette's story and became her strongest supporter. And that is not there. Okay. On June 3rd, the Feast of Corpus Christi, Bernadette made her first communion. Wow. And she's like 14 or 15 years old. June 16th, there it is, fences were put up around the grotto. So there's your, number 12, June 16th, okay? Bernadette returned to the grotto. She was obliged to say her rosary from a distance. When questioned, she says, I saw nothing but the Blessed Virgin. So it basically, this is pretty short, but basically, even though she was really far away, she says if she was right up close to Our Lady, even though she was like, I don't know how many feet away. So anyway, so that was just a grace that she was given. In April 1666, she succeeded in becoming a postulant at Navarre, and that is number 13. 13, apostolate is the very first step when you go into the convent. Then after that, you are a novice. So this is the first one. And Navarre is a city in France where her body is still there today. On her first day, she was ordered to recount the vision to the whole community and then never to speak of them again. She said, I've come here to hide, she declared. So, number 14, was she ever allowed to talk about it? No. And then the other part is to hide. So she got to tell her story, and that was it. No more talking about it. Number 15, she carried with her 3 stones on which she said, these are my companions whom I love. One of them she had written the words Lord's, the other the grotto, and Navarre's mother house. So she had 3 stones those are her friends. 16, her religious name. So July she received to heaven and became known as Sister Marie Bernard. Marie Bernard. This is her religious name. Even though to this day we know her as Saint Bernadette, in some books they could call her by her religious name, which is Sister Marie Bernard. So there's your one for number 16. Now we're at 17. We are really flying. Let's see if it's down here. Yep, it is. October, she was so ill that she was again given the last rites. Once more, she defied death and was later put in charge of the hospital. I mean, she totally recovered. And I don't think I asked that question. No. Number 17. The Mother Superior of Navarre testified, it took her an hour to find a bearable position during which her face changed and she became as if dead. Even when asleep, the faintest movement of her leg made her cry out. Such sharp cries, their companions in the dormitory could not sleep. So in other words, she was really in pain, but I don't have the disease yet. There it is, tuberculosis. In fact, she had tuberculosis. Bernadette did not enjoy suffering, though she spoke of it as my job. But that's the disease right there, tuberculosis. That's your answer to number 17. Was it very painful? I think if you paid attention to what I said up here, I think that's a no-brainer. Number 18 is the next one. She once said, I pray to St. Bernard, but I do not imitate him. St. Bernard likes suffering, but I avoid it if I can. Okay? So, who said that? I know who said it. St. Bernadette said it. Where's Bernadette? Right there. You have to put Saint in front of it. St. Bernadette. Hopefully you know how to spell Bernadette. I hope you do by now. Alrighty. Number 19. Pause it if you need to. Pause it if you need to. So 19 asked if she enjoyed suffering. And then the other half is over here. Oh, wait. Did she enjoy suffering? It's like St. Bernard. The answer, no. I had to put that just for some of you. All right. Phrase it if you need to. We're going to move on. Apart from her physical pain, she bore much personal grief. Her mother died at 41. Her sister, Tonette's first child, also named Bernadette, died in February of 1871, to be followed by her father a month later. In fact, all 5 of Tonette's babies died, and Bernadette wrote to her, I like to imagine that my dear little group prayed in heaven for us poor exiles on this miserable earth. Some suggest that she go to Lourdes to be cured, so this is a different subject. So that's how many her sisters lost of her children. You know, that's a lot. That had to be really tough on her. So number 20, was she cured at Lourdes? And that's in the movie, The Song of Bernadette, which I would have loved to show clips from. I thought about it, but I didn't. It just made this video longer. So when she was ill, they go, look, we'll take you to Lourdes. And she said, nope, nope, nope. She goes, I was just a broom. You use a broom to sweep, and then when you're done, you put it in a corner. She had a very humble attitude. Anyway, so no, she said she would not be cured at Lourdes, so don't take her. And here we go. You're going to pause it, by the way. In June 1873, she was given the last rites for the 3rd time. And they wait literally till back then till you were dead, almost dying. She recovered, and this time was appointed assistant sacristan. And what is the assistant sacristan? The person who kept the chapel clean and in order. So, if your job was to go down to our chapel at Aquinas and make sure everything's in order and keep it tidy and all that kind of stuff, we would call you a sacristan. Sacristan, like, fills up the holy water. Sometimes they do the laundry, the sacred laundry, and little things like that. Sometimes straighten it up because priests are just pigs, you know. Anyway, I asked that question, and that is number 21. Assistant sacristan, okay? So now we're at 22. There it is. Oh, by April of 1875, 2 years later, she became an invalid. And on April 16th, 1879, which they made her feast day, she died at 3 in the afternoon, the same hour as Jesus died on the cross. So I just asked the exact date of her death, and what time was it? 3 p.m. 3 p.m., the hour of mercy. Keep that in mind. 3 p.m., the hour of mercy. Okay, 23, the date. This is like just review. The day of the last apparition was July 16th, 1857. There's the date. And it's the feast of Our Lady of Mount Carmel. That's number 23 also. Pause it if you need it. Bernadette sees Our Lady, more beautiful than ever, from the far bank of the Gave River. That's, remember, she was there's a fence around it. On July 18th, 1862, the Bishop of Tabars gave the solemn declaration, we are inspired by the commission composing wise, holy, learned, and experienced priests who questioned the child, studied the facts, examined everything, and weighed all the evidence. We have also called on science and we remain convinced that the apparitions are supernatural and divine, and that by consequence, what Bernadette saw was the most blessed Virgin Mary. So this is where the bishop declares this is worthy to go there and visit. So not only do I ask what year it became official, but two things that were important for any investigation to be saying it's legit is supernatural and divine, which is number 25. Supernatural and divine. So there's not too much information here. If you need to pause it, pause. We're going on. It was approved by Pius IX from the local bishop, and he said it was worthy of veneration in 1862. And I do not have that on here. We're still on 26. Number of apparitions total is 18. 18. And is the body of Bernadette incorrupt? Oh, the well, countless miracles, healings. The incorrupt body of Bernadette. And we, later on, I think I have the next thing here. Pictures will follow of what Bernadette looks like today. So now we're on the back side. So hopefully that didn't take very long. And now we're at number 27. And a little bit of data. Here we go, a bunch of pictures. It says on the bottom here, 4 to 6 million pilgrims visit the shrine each year. So this is, there's part of the church, and that's the sidewalk next to the river. Right down here is the grotto. This is what it looks like. That's not me saying Mass. It's hard to get permission to say Mass in there, but there is one. Oh, here's, Lourdes is way down here, and the Var is way over here, and there's Paris right there. Kind of gives you a sense of where it's at. That's where her body is. That's where Lourdes is at. And here again is another picture of what it looks like if you go there. So it says here, 4 to 6 million pilgrims visit the shrine each year. Around the world, it's estimated that more than 200 million pilgrims have come to Lourdes since 1860. So that's number 27 and 28. As you can see, I zoomed in on that because it's kind of down there and small. And so write that in, otherwise we're going to 29. Pause it. Okay, now we're pulling out. And the message of Our Lady of Lourdes. On February 18th, she was told by the lady to return to grotto over a period of 2 weeks. And the lady said, I promise, I don't think I did this again, did I? Oh yeah, this is a yes or no. I promise to make you happy, not in this world, but in the next. So number 29, where would Bernadette find happiness? In the next world, okay? And number 30, on February 24th, on her 8th apparition, the lady said, penitence. Then would you pray to God for the conversion of sinners? So number 30, if we circle that one, I don't know which one we're going to circle, that's conversion of sinners. So you got 3 words to write there. Start writing that down. If you need to pause it, because remember I'm trying to make this short. Not until the 16th apparition on March 25th did she say, I am the Immaculate Conception. And I don't have a question there. Okay, but we already had that anyway. On July 16th at 30s, it fenced off the grotto. Bernadette slipped away to the meadow on the far bank of the Gave for an 18th and final meeting with the lady. Never had I seen her looking so beautiful. That's a repeat, sorry about that. And she gave her a message for all. Pray and do penance for the conversion of the world. And I still don't have 32. Sorry about that. There she is. What year was she canonized a saint? 1933. Okay, well, you write 1933. Also, I say, does she look like she's sleeping? There it is. I'm zooming in right here. And believe me, I was standing literally right next to the glass coffin that she is in. And yes, she does look like she's asleep. And there's a picture of her. She looks pretty young. She's wearing the white veil, so that must, I'm presuming that that's when she's a novice. And you notice she's wearing the black veil. So You can find pictures of her all over the internet. So I zoomed in on this one. As you can see with this different projector, it's a lot clearer. So we're going to go on to 30, whatever. Yeah, number 30. Oh, 33. Yeah. The Message of the Lord's I Am the Immaculate Conception. There's another one. Oh, that looks like a pope there. And, oh, I love this one because it really gives you, they built the church on top of the cliff. So there's a little like cave indentation there. There's a little place there where she appeared. The creek used to run along here, and this is a cement, and this is a wall, and there's a river right there. That's actually water. And in the water, when there's a big rain and it's flooding stuff, it can get way up to here. But anyway, so when we're walking along there, we're always walking along right along there. So these are two cool pictures. This is what the baths look like. They're dipping somebody in right there. And they have little faucets now that you can go get water. And then here they are right here too. So when I filled up my little jug with water, I just came up to these. So over the years, more than 7,000 pilgrims have claimed to have been healed after bathing or drinking Lord's water. So that is number 33, 7,000. So these are not official. So if somebody from Bruno went there and they were cured, but we didn't have all the documentation, that person and their private physician knows they were cured, but it wouldn't stand it. It has to be more records to make it official. The church has declared 67 cures miraculous. Again, there has to be a lot of paperwork for it to be able to be officially deemed miraculous. So that's number 34, 67 of them. 34, and I hope I'm zooming into here because I'm moving on. All right. Here's some more pictures. They're random. They always have volunteers pushing wheelchairs. Right here, on this one right here, you can see them. They got the Blessed Sacrament right there. This goes on every day where they bless all the people in wheelchairs with the Jesus and the monstrance. And there's a lot of miracles that happen here too. This is what the night looks like. And here's the church on top of the hill. And they do zigzag around with their candle procession. And so that's exactly how they go. Oh, and they're looking, there's a castle right there. So they're looking as if you're standing right here looking away. Who is the first known person to be cured at Lourdes? This is number 35. And it's that gal right there, Catherine Latape. Don't know. You can write that down. When did she go to the waters of Lourdes? 1858. And that was the year, obviously, so it was one of the first miracles. She felt a sudden urge to travel to Lourdes in search for healing. And what was her injury? Broken hand, 2 fingers paralyzed. So that was her injury. That's number 37. Right, I think there's one more before we pause it. And how did it happen? She fell from a tree. Must have landed on her hand, messed it up. So, now this is kind of a long one right here. Broken hand, 2 finger paralyzed. You have to have the 2 finger paralyzed. And then she fell from a tree, which would be number 38. So I want you to pause this now. Okay, we're moving on. And we're still working on her. And what did she do at Lourdes? She put her hand in the water. You remember the cartoon you saw in first grade? They have her putting her hand in the water, and suddenly it's miraculously healed. And number 40, I already answered it. Was she completely healed spontaneously? Yes. Yes, she was. Instantaneously, her hand came out perfectly working. And the second cure was Louis Bernadette, a 55-year-old man. What year did he go to Lourdes? Same year, 1858. And what was wrong with him? Number 42. And that is his right eye. Sorry, typo, was blind. Not his right ear, his right eye was blind. And I think it was either the Song of Bernadette or the cartoon showed that one. It was the Song of Bernadette. He throws water in his eye and he could see. And how did it happen? From a mine explosion which killed his brother who was at his side. So his brother got killed, but he survived, but it injured his eye. So what did he do at Lourdes, number 43? Oh, by the way, pause it if you need to. Okay, we're going. And what did he do? There it is. He washed his right eye. Look at how he spelled it right this time. His right eye repeatedly. Repeatedly. So write that down for number 43. And number 44. Who did he pray to while he was washing it? Our Lady of Lourdes. So he's praying while he's washing his eye. Lady Mary, please, 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 cure me, cure me. And she did. And he was completely given full sight of his eye. And so it was a miracle. Number 45 was completely cured, yes. And where can I find more of the first miracles? Right there. If you go to this website, yeah, try to click on that on your screen, then they list all the miracles. I remember going down there, just miracle after miracle, miracle. It's really good. All right, this guy right here, he's only 2 years old, and he was cured at Lourdes. From birth, he was considered a failure to thrive case, labeled hopeless by medical standards. Shortly before his parents brought him to Lourdes, he contracted tuberculosis and was dying from it. So the poor kid was weak to begin with. He was considered hopeless. Let him die was everybody's attitude. He had tuberculosis. They don't give up. They take him to Lourdes. And how old was he? And he was 2 years old. Tuberculosis. That is number 46. Number 47. Carrying young Justin in her arms, her mother walked to the grotto out of desperation, knowing that she could be banished at the time. And I don't remember why, to tell you the truth right now. But she's carrying the child, going to Lourdes. I remember now, this was in July when it was fenced off. So she was trying to get in there, and it was illegal. So she could have really got in trouble if she would have got caught. And so number 47 is a yes or no. And now number 48. In 1858 there was a period of time, where they were banned from visiting the grotto. Okay, once again, pause it if you need to. 1, 2, yep, we're moving. And she prayed by the rock and then bathed Justin in the hollow recently dug by laborers. So yeah, they made a little pool where the water could settle, and people could do stuff like that. So this was one of the early miracles. She took her child and bathed in the water, a child that everybody would say, look, your kid is dying. There's nothing we can do. And number 49. As she walked home carrying his limp body in her arms, she realized that Justin was still breathing and then slept peacefully through the night. And Justin made a full recovery and even lived to attend St. Bernadette's canonization in 1933. So number 49 is a yes or no if you read this right here. And number 50 is a yes or no if you read this right here. 51 I want you to fill out. Alrighty, we're going to add 51. 51, you're going to write this in. When is Bernadette's feast day? Write it in. When is Bernadette's feast day? Write that down. What is that? 5, 6 words, 5 words. When is Bernadette's feast day? And the answer is April 16th. April 16th. That is her feast day, the day that she died. Alrighty, well, you write that down. Let me just thank you guys. You get tomorrow off, and then Monday we're going to circle. So fill it out, send it to me, and we're going to be good. So we'll see you when we circle. Yeah. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Really intellectual interviews, huh?
Yeah, you know, I don't know why that guy come and took that shield there, you know. I kind of liked it up there. I was kind of getting used to it. And he just comes and kind of, you know, takes it away and brings it right. There he is.
MSM TV. We're open to suggestions. I'll give your sign back.
By golly, that's a mighty nice young fella there.
There we got it,
Yes, sir.
Ron. We'll be back right after this.